Is back on Southeastern 16 with Max Barr. SEC basketball transfers continue, and the champs, Max Barr, here.
The champs.
The Florida Gators representing in the transfer portal here on Southeastern 16 as we're talking about Xavian Lee joining the Gators. Seemed like this was going to happen. We all knew this was going to happen, and now it's official. And you bring over a guy, Max, that's going to step right in. We know the Gators got to replace some pieces off the national championship team, but now you got the 6'4" point guard coming in 2 straight years of averaging 17 points a game. I mean, you and I were talking about this before we hit record. Sometimes you just know that a player is going to fit into a certain system. I think this guy's going to fit into Todd Golden's system in Florida.
I love this, Blake. I haven't said that yet. For portal season. Said it almost every single get last year. I love this guy coming in. I have not said it yet. I love this fit. I feel like people are going to try to look at this and try to pick apart every little area of Xavian Lee's game. How is he not going to live up to Walter Clayton? How is he not? Scrap it. The guy is a stud. Get ready for it. He's coming in hot. Tested NBA draft waters last season, ended up returning to Princeton, was a first-team All-Ivy Leaguer last year, unanimous first-team All-Ivy Leaguer this year. Just a quick little background on the recruitment. Enters the portal, takes visits with St. John's, Kansas, and the Gators. Obviously decides to stick in Gainesville. You saw the some of the stories of what they were putting on for Lee in Gainesville. He's going into different places. They've got the whole setup for him. Welcome home, Lee. You saw the big sheet signs like it's college game day. Xavian Lee, come to the Gators. Gators fans, you wanted Lee. He heard you. He felt the love, and he's here.
All right, Max. You know I like my player comps. All right, you just know that these are my favorite thing.
Yeah,
right.
It's your thing.
It's my thing. Player comp, not this past season, but the year before.
Okay.
From VR man KenPom.
Yep.
Damian Lillard. From 2010 at Weber State. So Damian Lillard, yes, did play at Weber State and was obviously a big deal there. Has gone on to, as we know, be a big deal in the NBA. But I love my player comp. So you're telling me that Mr. KenPom's telling us, look out for this guy. He may be a little Damian Lillard-esque when it comes to the production that we've seen from him so far. And I mean, listen, what else do you say? If you look at the numbers, like sometimes we're like, all right, the stats don't tell the full story on a guy. The stats tell you the story on this guy. Like he's tremendous. Yep. He does everything. And I mean, what, triple-double? I think he had the first player to record a triple-double in Princeton history. I mean, come on. Like he was a Lou Henson All-American team a couple years ago. Like this guy's just, he's done everything. Unanimous first team All-Ivy League, back-to-back seasons. Yeah, I mean, we can get more into this, but again, like it is pretty easy to look at this and just say, all right, here's a guy who's going to step in. We know there was an area of need, losing the guys you lost in the backcourt on this national championship team. And now when you look at what he's going to bring to the table, and like you said, there may be some people that'll pick apart, all right, well, this isn't the Ivy League or whatever, but just go watch this guy play. Go watch just watch some highlights. That's all you got to watch to realize that he is going to be an absolute stud. I think with the way, again, that we know every team's different, but there is a certain way that Todd Golden wants to play with his teams. And when you think about how he fits into the mix there, I'm not going to sit here and comparing him to Walter Clayton, as some people will probably try to do. Like, there's no reason to do that. Let's just talk about what he brings to the table and scoring, shooting, incredible awareness with the court. Like you can see that, like if you watch some of the highlights and just some of the passes this guy makes, he knows where everybody's at on the floor. Just does everything.
Blake, you said something that resonated with me. You said Todd Golden knows how he wants to play. You know who else knows how they want to play? Our guy Tommy H.
Oh,
who just happens to be a 2025 national champion. But Blake, if you see that towards the bottom of your screen there, looks like our good friend Tom's pretty happy. Some smiley faces there, right? Well, maybe that's because he gets to play with his old pal Xavian. How do you like them
Look at
apples?
these two guys.
Look at
Like
them.
they're like, we're about to go win a national championship together. That's what they're thinking right now in this
Yep.
shot right here.
Tommy, make a statue of that form right there. Xavian's already headed back. He knows that thing's going in. Bang. Xavian and Tommy back in action together. The duo is back. And now you look at that picture and you might think, wow, geez, Tommy looks pretty big there. Xavian doesn't look too big. Well, only 180 pounds. He's about 20 pounds lighter than any member of the backcourt last year. Okay, you might be thinking, oh no, how's he going to translate with the physicality? Blake, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you know who the only guy under 6'6" who has finished top 5 in their conference in rebounding percentages over the past 2 years?
Who might that be, Max?
Oh, it might be Xavian Lee,
Wow.
who has a rebounding percentage over 20% in the past 2 years. At 6'4", 180, might as well be 6'4", 200. He's not afraid of contact.
No, clearly not, because you kind of watch the way he plays. And like I said, we've not sit here and been able to watch all 40 minutes of every game he's played in this past season. But if you do pick apart some of the things when you see it on the highlights, like this guy is he embraces it, I think, and I think it's really he knows where to be on the court. Like he does such a good job of just kind of navigating where he needs to be, and that's what you want out of your lead guy. It's handling the ball. Like you want this guy to be able to know, all right, here's what we got to do to get going. Here's what I got to do to get going. I got to get these guys in this spot. And again, he just does so many things pretty well here. And yeah, I mean, we always try to say, all right, what did you do against, some of the better teams that you played, those kind of things. I mean, there's not really any SEC type comps, I guess, Max, when you look back through it just based on Princeton's schedule. But, I mentioned the triple-double, right? I mean, St. Joe's, they won that game on the road this past year, 77-69, December the 3rd. I mean, that's where he had the triple-double, 18 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds, I think. Had another triple-double against Penn in March, 23 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. So, again, like you're just, games against Yale, I guess, if you want to kind of find some spots like that. But otherwise, there's not those SEC opponent-type comps that we use for some of these guys who come in. But I don't think you read too much into that. Like you said, I mean, to me, it's all about the skill. And this guy has the skill that when you pair him with Todd Golden and pair him with this team that he's going to be playing on, and I think that's what we always say, like the context of the role he's going to play, we've already mentioned, like, yes, Florida's still going to have as of right now, I mean, probably a top 10, top 15 roster, I think right now by adding him to the mix.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be. Back. Yeah. So if Condon's back, I think you're certainly looking at this as, all right, the defending national champions should be easily ranked in the top 10 by adding Lee to the mix. And so how can he, make Aberdeen take even a bigger step? Obviously, we talked about Tommy H., Condon, Genuelu, like the front court is if Condon comes back, this front court again. Are you kidding me with this front court? But Unreal. We'll have plenty of time to talk about that this summer. But yeah, like you just look at the backcourt, and this is the guy that's going to lead the way.
Yeah, he's going to lead the way, and you got to think he's going to be even better than he was this year because we always talk about, how can you, forecast the improvement? How has he improved the other years? I know the Ivy League is not the physicality of the SEC, but you've seen Ivy League transfers translate fairly well in recent history. When you look at his 3-point percentage, Blake, freshman year, 23%. Sophomore year, 33%. This past year, just under 37%. That went up every year. But what's even more impressive than the shooting percentage is his assist rate. Okay. He was 19th in the nation in assist rate this last year, just under 37%. 19th in the nation. Okay. One of the best creators in all college basketball. 2 years ago, it was 24%, right around 200th in the nation. Freshman year, 12%. He wasn't even a creator, really. That is an insane improvement in assist to turnover rate, one of the best assist to turnover rates, not only in the Ivy, in the whole country. And so when you look at how does that project into the lineup, hey, you got 6'4" Lee and 6'5" Denzel Aberdeen to pair with that front court that you just listed out. This could be one of those teams where it's like, wow, there's only 5 minutes left in the game and they haven't played a player under 6'4". Yeah, big time physicality and height now to match with that front court. You got CJ Ingram at 6'6", the top freshman coming in. Blake, this is going to be a long, athletic, versatile Gators roster.
Yeah. So Lee, if we look at it like the records that he broke at Princeton, most triple doubles in a season, had 2 this year, as we said. Most assists in a season for any Princeton player, 165 this season. And keep in mind too, think about the Princeton offense, right? We always talk about that over the years. Like, this is a guy who had the most assists than anybody, and 165 this season. You talked about that percentage there. Finished 8th most points in a season this year, 507, so 8th all time in Princeton history, and top 11 most assists in a career, 301. So finishes with that, and most points in a season last year, 495. That was 11. So yeah, I mean, again, we get it. Like, people are going to ask the questions about going from the Ivy League to the SEC. You've said, I mean, there's certainly some examples of guys being able to just translate just fine. Other examples of guys that haven't, but I think, man, you just look at this guy and I'd be stunned if he doesn't wind up being just an absolute star potentially for this team. And it's also, like I said, he's not going to be asked to do all the things that he had to do for Princeton, right? He's not going to be put in that role, because you think about the supporting cast that he's going to have on this team. And so, yeah, I think it's an opportunity for him to thrive. So
I think the only pushback I've seen is, how is his defense going to be? A little bit of a drop back from the past backcourt, but man, I trust this staff, to be honest. Look at the development of Walter Clayton's defense from year to year. Look at what they've done with Denzel Aberdeen. Will Richard was a lockdown perimeter defender. Give Xavian Lee a full offseason with this staff. I trust them, man. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Just let the guys get into the big guys. Just, you know what? If he wants to drive around, just say good luck. There you go. There's Tommy H. There's Han Logden. There's Chenyolu. There's good luck trying to score. So, no. In all seriousness, yeah, I think this is a significant addition for Florida fans. I know you guys are excited about that. The Toronto, Canada native,
yes,
Lee, joining the Gators in Gainesville, trying to repeat national champions. Remember, Max, last time Florida won a national championship, you know what happened the next year?
Hey, it's a great start.
Great start. So, yeah, last time they went back-to-back. So we'll see if that happens here with this one. But, all right, we appreciate you guys watching. Our thoughts on Xavian Lee. More thoughts coming on SEC basketball transfers and, of course, the Gators as we talk about the roster throughout the offseason, start to project ahead to next season. And all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on your notifications so you know when we go live to talk about transfers or anything else SEC basketball related. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you soon. Southeastern 16.